Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, November 12th. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And right now, looks like we're going to have a triple M attack. Which ones are going to be traded? With about 75 minutes to go prior to the opening. Possible gap lower. Here's that incredibly daunting M period from the 9th, which they tried to take back a bunch of yesterday, only to fail. Below yesterday's M range, which traded a good part of yesterday's range, and just above the 10th M range. So, 3-day balance. Market's still looking for more market-generated information. A little different in the Qs this morning. Earlier this morning, they were looking above yesterday's high to eat away more of their big sell tail. Losing my mind. And their price probe from the 9th. We'll see what transpires when this market opens. Let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So right now on the upside, we'll give you yesterday's low on both sides of the equation in case we gap lower. 355.06 was yesterday's low. We've been back and forth through it now for a while. Now, until we get there, there's nothing else above us. Now, M's range is going to play a huge part. If we get acceptance into M's range, well, then you're going to probably trade the whole thing because there's nothing here. There is absolutely nothing here. The POC was only 7 wide. So there's nothing stopping this market if we get acceptance into M's range to trade a good part of it. We have 357.52, which is our overnight high. And then yesterday's high, 357.56. So again, it's up to the bulls. If they don't gap lower and get acceptance into M, we can take back most of yesterday's range. And then above that, we have all the other numbers that you should have from the 9th. For the downside, we're still going to use yesterday's low of 355.06. Then below that, we have 354.01, which as of now is our overnight low. Then we have 353.48, 11 wide, the naked POC from the 10th. 352.22 afternoon pullback low from that day. And 350.51 daily low. So what is the game plan? Well, again, M's range is going to play a huge factor from the past 3 days. We say how the way price just moves. Look at yesterday's M's range. Took out L's low, couldn't get the low, and go ripping towards the high, almost to take out the day's high. And now look where we are this morning. All this was, late in the day, is once M took out L's high, everybody who was short in KL and M ran to cover in M and N. So, if we are to gap lower within a reasonable price point, which for me is about $1, I would take a put play and take a 355 put. If the gap fills, I would be out. Now, you can either use the gap fill or M's low. So, M's low is only 26 cents higher than yesterday's low. So I might actually do that. I wouldn't cover it right away if we just fill the gap. I want to see what happens at M's range because that's going to be the crucial thing if the gap fills. If we just dip our toe into it and come back out, nothing's changed for me. We could be pretty certain we're going to trade one of these M ranges. Either yesterday's, get accepted back into it, and or get accepted into M's range from the 10th, go down to that wide POC, and we're going to at least trade M's range from that day and then see if we test the afternoon pullback low. That's for certain. You're going to test one or the other. So, again, I would take a short play if we gap lower, out if we get acceptance into M's range. On the flip side, if we're to open gap lower, dip our toe into M's range from the 10th, get rejected, come back, fill the gap, and get acceptance into M's range, then I'd look to take a long play. Now, what is acceptance? It's very tough in A period to determine acceptance because it's the first time frame and you're not sure if they're going to bounce between two of them. To me, acceptance will be if you start getting acceleration with volume into either one of these in A period. B period's a little better, a little easier to determine. If you start one-time framing down in B inside of M's range from the 10th, well, I want to be short because we're going down to the POC. Same thing here. If we start one-time framing up inside of M's range from yesterday, well, odds are you're going to trade. There's nothing above us, so there's a good chance you're going to go and trade most of M's range. Maybe you'll stop at half back yesterday, value high, but that would be a better idea of acceptance if you're one-time framing up or down inside of M's range. And again, if you're in my voice channel room, I'll be walking you through this as the trade comes to us. And then on the charts, here's the monthly 4-month balance, 354.02. Now, do you realize what today's pre-market low is? 354.01. You can't make this stuff up how mechanical it is. That's last month's high, 354.02. That's the inside month up for 3 days in a row now. It's amazing how they keep testing it. At some point, the bulls want to get away from it to the upside, because if the bulls finally, the bears finally recapture it and we get acceptance below 354.02, well, then eventually the bottom of this balance is your destination. So that is such a critical level still right now, 354.02. Weekly is up. I'm calling the weekly up for now. And in the daily, it's firmly 3-day balance. Monday's high is the top of the balance. Tuesday's low is the bottom of the balance. And here's the pre-market right now. That's what we're dealing with right now. It's a 3-day balance. So M period again is going to determine our direction for the day. The question is it going to be M period from Tuesday or yesterday? Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.